We're delighted to welcome the show naturopath Emma Sutherland. Great to see you.
It's great to be here, ladies.
Oh, it's all good.
We've got so many questions,
Exactly.
but we're going to get you on another time to get into all of those. Yeah.
We've been discussing about foods not being labelled, and it's been concerning us, but we thought we'd talk to you about why, A, why they're not labelled, and B, why they're harmful. I wanted to start with palm oil first, because under our existing laws, it only has to be listed as vegetable oil, and people think they're eating healthy.
Can I just say one thing for people watching at home? Why is palm... Because I asked you this, I was like, why is palm oil bad for starters?
Okay, first things first, palm oil is a saturated fat.
Yes.
It's something that we don't need in our bodies, so it increases your risk of cardiovascular disease, so it's an absolute no-no.
Yep.
And apparently we eat about 10 kilograms a year without even knowing it.
Oh,
Exactly,
what?
because it's hidden within our foods, and our labelling laws are just terrible. It doesn't have to say palm oil on the outside of the packet, which I think is atrocious.
So what does it say?
It says vegetable oil.
But that's lying.
It is
Well, it's
lying.
not,
They
because it
can't
is a
do-
vegetable, I suppose.
So it's their way of... Okay, so why do they use it? A cheaper alternative?
It's cheaper. It's look, it's farmed in Indonesia and Malaysia. The problem is it actually leads to global warming. It's one of the causes of global warming because they're clearing all the forests in these countries and planting palm oil plantations. Now, this actually has a massive impact on the orangutans living in the natural environment.
Saying that really upsets me.
It's awful on many levels, not just for our health, it's just for the whole global impact. It's just such a no-no.
We've got an independent senator, Nick Xenophon, who wants this labelling laws brought in, because apparently he said 300 soccer fields per day are being decimated in Southeast Asia. We're losing about 1,000 orangutans.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Aside from the health aspect, as you
That's
say,
right.
it's really damaging the environment.
So do we know why they can get away with this labelling? Isn't there someone sort of policing that, or we don't have that in Australia, or do we have it anywhere?
We don't have it in Australia. That's the problem. If you look at other countries like Sweden and Switzerland, they have much more stringent labelling laws. In this country, unfortunately, we don't. So,
which brings us to S26 soy,
Yes.
because we've recently been made aware that it contains some genetically modified ingredients. Now, we're not saying that that's harmful, but
It's just for babies, though.
Exactly. Should we be eating genetically modified foods, and should we be giving it to our babies?
well, as a naturopath, I say no. It's genetically modified, which means it's not natural for our bodies. In a country like Australia, there is no need for us to be relying on genetically modified foods. If we lived in a third world country where everyone was extremely poor and we needed more food to go around, then I see the need for genetically modified crops. But in a country like Australia, we do not need it. And to give this to babies whose livers are still immature to the age of 12 months, they can't break this down properly.
So why are they genetically am I asking the
No, you
million-dollar question? Why are they genetically modifying it anyway? Why can't they just make it without doing that?
Well, the whole aim of it is that it then becomes pest resistant. So it becomes overall a cheaper and easier crop to actually farm and manufacture. But from my point of view, I haven't seen enough long-term clinical research done on the effects of genetically modified food on the human body.
So what are we giving our babies possibly? It's quite scary.
We're seeing now the demonstration in Canberra that it's actually taken place with the S26 soy.
And the Greenpeace people, is this the Greenpeace?
Yes.
This is Greenpeace, yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
I mean, obviously there are lots of people now who are getting as angry as we are about it, which is great.
Yeah, it's
So
fantastic.
hopefully something can happen in order to stop that in the future. And I mean,
Yeah.
the choice obviously would be with parents, wouldn't it, if they choose to, but the fact if you don't know
That's what
that it's in there,
yeah, that would make me
that's the
very
fun.
angry as a parent. You can't. It's just consumers being. I see it as just completely being lied to.
The one thing that you can do about genetically modified is if you buy a product that's certified organic, it cannot contain genetically modified
But
ingredients.
who can afford all that?
I know, but when you're talking about your baby's health, it's difficult. I know it's a very
Do
challenging
they police
situation.
that with the certified organic?
It
Because
is.
I remember reading somewhere that a lot of things that say certified organic, they can get through loopholes. So is that no?
No, it's stringently organised, and as long as there is the certifying body of Australia, then you're absolutely assured that that product will not contain genetically modified ingredients.
Because it's quite frightening the amount of packaged foods that actually contain genetically modified foods. I did want to ask you about bonsoi,
Yes.
which is a totally different soy product altogether, and that's found to have seafood extract that's
Yes.
created some thyroid problems.
Yeah, the story
That's
behind
it's on the
this.
screen now.
The story behind this is that bonsoi originally was formulated using kombu, which is a sea vegetable that's really high in iodine. Now this goes back, it's a macrobiotic cooking tip, and it reduces the gassiness of the soy milk and gives it a nice nuttier sort of a
that's why they
flavour.
add
They
to it.
thought they were doing the right thing.
Yes, correct, but they weren't actually measuring the levels of iodine that eventuated in the finished product. So
How
for
could they
one,
not do that?
well,
It doesn't make sense, does
I
it?
don't know. It just got missed. 1 cup of bonsoi is literally 7 times the recommended daily intake of iodine. So iodine impacts your thyroid, and it will either make your thyroid go too fast or too slow.
So I was having soy lattes every day, quite often bonsoi. So what would that, with my thyroid, what would I notice? Or
I had a lot of clients that had palpitations, anxiety,
I have anxiety.
sweats. These
I've got to get
symptoms.
off the soy.
I don't think it's just your bonsoi.
No, I don't. I've got ADD, but anyway.
But
Wow, that's fat. People, imagine that your latte every day is giving you anxiety and you don't even know why.
That's right.
So there are a lot of cases, weren't
It's
there?
now been recalled.
Correct.
And that went on from 2003 to 2009. But apparently, if you stop, your thyroid will go back down. Is that right?
Absolutely, it will rebalance. So iodine is a water-soluble trace nutrient.
Yep.
It will rebalance. But if you have any concerns, just see your health practitioner, get your iodine levels checked, and go from there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Stay with us, if you would, Emma.
Will do.
We're going to take a break. Emma actually specialises in fertility naturally, so we're going to chat to her about that.